birds appeared on our planet. A group of fully feathered theropods. Dromaeosaurids, microraptors, and velociraptors. We live among the descendants of dinosaurs. The killing claw of a velociraptor. The talons of birds of prey. Top of the food chain. The ultimate predator. Eagles, hawks, owls, vultures, rulers of the skies, hunters, and masters of flight. Welcome to Predators on Wings.
Hello everyone! And a very good morning to you ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now how's everyone feeling today? Feeling good? I think you guys can do better than that. So let's try it one more time. How's everyone feeling today? Feeling good? Alright, I'm feeling pretty good. Now my name is Lina and I am a Raptor Ranger. My team and I are passionate about understanding and protecting birds of prey. By the way, this is my buddy Namra.
Hi everyone! Thank you! Now as Raptor Rangers, we conduct rescue and release efforts. We also have to take care of us here, and today we are going to introduce to you to some of our favorite predators on wing.
So we're starting some with the... Oh, you guys hear that? Where did you hear that?
Of course, Nina, now right up there! Now everyone meet Nelson, our white-bellied sea eagle. Now white-bellied sea eagles can be found in Southeast Asia and they're one of the largest birds of prey that spot right here in Singapore.
Now they have rough undersides on their talons, which help them to grip on this slippery and struggling prey, like fish or even snakes. And in fact, they specialize in catching venomous sea snakes.
And with me, I got a replica of a venomous sea snake, so I'm going to toss this into the water and it's going to dive down and wow!
Alright, now that is pretty quick, and I think some of you might not have caught that. But don't worry, just take a look at the screen. We have a close-up. And look at how powerful bird looking Nelson and round of applause.
And Lina, that is why the white-bellied sea eagles are one of my favorite birds of prey to spot in the skies of Singapore.
But that's not the only bird of prey you can spot in the skies of Singapore. There is also the Brahminy kite. So let's say hello to Rado. Alright everyone, take a look at this. Wow! Now Brahminy kites are agile and maneuverable in flight, allowing them to catch prey in mid-air. So we're going to do that one more time, so keep your eyes on him. It's going to happen pretty quick. And wow! Now they're also medium-sized raptors, but don't let their size fool you, because they can steal a prey from a bird as big as Nelson, the white-bellied sea eagle. And when you're walking around our parks in Mandai, do remember to look up, because you might see some wild white-bellied sea eagles or even some Brahminy kites flying around. And this is how they look like flying high up in the skies. On the left is the white-bellied sea eagle, and on the right is the Brahminy kite.
And it's easy to spot the differences between these two birds. First would be their obvious size difference, and then their coloration, and last but not least, the shape of their wings. So when they're flying, the white-bellied sea eagle have a V-shaped wing and a wedge-shaped tail.
And as for the Brahminy kites, they have M-shaped wings and a U-shaped tail. They're also much more brownish in color.
And each year, 2 million raptors migrate during the winters from their breeding grounds in Europe and Asia and flying to as far as Africa. Now this is a perilous journey and thousands never make it to their destination.
Thousands around the world are being killed for sport. So we need your help to protect and save our birds. where our skies will soon be empty.
Indeed, and birds of prey, they are vital to the health of the planet. They help to remove all sick animals and to help get rid of pests. So one bird in particular helps us with pest control, and that bird is none other than the owls. Everyone, I would like you to meet England's Malay fish owl, another local species that you can find right here in Singapore. And the rodents that these birds hunt for never hear them coming. And that is because owls, they are the masters of silent flight.
And speaking about silent flight, let's test that theory out. So on top over there, we have Latif, another Malay fish owl. And he's going to make a flight all the way down here. But before he makes his flight, I need everyone to please remain seated and be as quiet as possible, as we're about to experience the owl's unique ability of silent flight. Wow, now that is truly silent indeed. Let's give him a big round of applause for that. And it's possible is because owls, they have soft edges and it's simple their feathers, which helps them with air turbulence and reduces noise, making their flights as quiet as a whisper. Now, not only that, they also have excellent eyesight and binocular vision, just like us.
And speaking of their eyesight, the colors of their eyes tells us when they like to hunt. So owls with yellow color eyes like Latif and English, they hunt during the day. Owls with orange eyes, they hunt during sunrise and sunset. So what about owls with dark black eyes? Well, they like to hunt during the night.
Now, another interesting fact about owls is that they're able to turn their heads all the way to the back. But just how many degrees is that? Does anyone know the answer? Just shout it out.
I had a 270 on my side.
270. Any more answers?
360.
I think about 360 and 270s. But the right answer is 270 degrees. Give yourself a big round of applause. Now, if you're wondering what a 270 head turn looks like, just take a look at the screen. Slowly all the way to the back. Now, it looks like a 360 degrees head turn. But that's just not possible because that is a full circle. And if the owl were to do that, they might sprain their necks. And we don't want that happening. I think our lovely owls here has done an amazing job, but it's time for them to head back home. So everyone, let's give our lovely owls a big round of applause. Now we have just met some Asian raptors. Now we're moving on to West the Americas to meet more charismatic raptors. So put your hands together for Susie, our American bald eagle. Just take a look at her. She is so majestic. Susie here, she's been with us for almost 27 years. She's about 33 years old this year, making her a retiree and a very loved member of the Mantai family.
So in zoos and boat parks just like this one, animals tend to live a lot longer than they would in the wild. So that means after working for so many years, our animals get to retire.
And when they do retire, they head on to our lush and shaded Vector Retirement Aviary, where they get the right environment, healthy diet, and even medical care.
And speaking of medical care, if you take a look at the screen, we are giving Susie eye drops to help her with the cataract on both eyes.
And in a second, you see Ethan, our senior Brahmin kite. Now, Ethan used to be a star in our previous bird park, where he is now retired and partially blind in both eyes. That is why we have to hand feed him every single day. But nonetheless, our senior raptors, they love to stay active and stimulated. That is why Susie is out here to meet all of you.
And it looks like
there are some birds of prey who prefers to take a stroll instead of flying. So Nandura is setting up the stage for our next predator, who looks like a falcon with sharp beak and talons, but behaves like a vulture and will feed on carcasses. So everyone from the South and Central America, let's welcome our southern crested caracal.
Now this is an unusual bird of prey. He uses his long legs and flat claws to walk and forage on the forest ground skillfully. And right now he's busy turning over all the rocks and bushes in search for the trees that are hidden underneath. And in the wild, they'll be looking for insects and worms. So what if the insects that they were looking for decides to fly off? The southern crested caraparas are able to do vertical flights into the air just like this.
Ooh, okay, but that's a vertical hop. You can go higher, right?
Alright, I don't think he's impressed either. Let's try one more jump over here, Raul. Right over here, sir. Alright. And count on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty high. But now, I think you can go higher, right?
Higher.
Yeah, that's right.
You can make him jump higher than me.
That's right. I have a secret, but Raul, this is my roller. Alright, you're gonna start from the bottom. Okay, and then all the way up. Wow! Alright, Raul, you've done an amazing job, but it's time for you to head back home. All the way to his little cave. Let's give Raul a big round of applause, everybody. The solemn crested caraparas, they aren't strong enough to open large carcasses like that one. They need some bird friends who need a hard work first. Friends like vultures. But vultures, they are widely misunderstood birds. Because when you see them on TV, they are portrayed as evil, circling around the skies with ominous music and a sense of impending doom. But we are here to tell you the real story.
Vultures, they use columns of air to fly and glide in search for carcasses using a strong sense of sight and smell. Now vultures, they help to prevent the spread of contagious diseases.
Now before our vulture comes out, I need everyone to please remain seated as the bird will be flying pretty low. So just one more friendly reminder to please remain seated. Alright, with that, let's meet our very first vulture, Zena, the turkey vulture. Now these birds, they come from the Americas and are one of the few with a highly good sense of smell.
So that means when there is a carcass nearby, turkey vultures are usually the first ones on scene. And for the close they find the bigger vultures will help to rip apart the top part of the dead animal.
Now another interesting fact about turkey vultures is that they're able to digest carrion pretty well. Their stomach acid is almost as powerful as cranberries, almost 0 pH level, allowing them to digest fur and even foods. Alright, I think our lovely vulture here has done an amazing job, but it's time for her to head back home, all the way to her trainer. Her beautiful low flight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, keep your eyes on the screen. Well, that looks like a scene of chaos. A bunch of pretty birds competing and stripping a large carcass right down to the bone. And to me, that looks like a very disorganized feeding frenzy.
But Lina, what if I were to tell you that vultures, they are a social species and they respect their place in a pecking order. So when vultures gather, there is a feeding protocol.
That's right, so let's meet our next guest at the feast, our African white-neck vulture. I'm sorry, we can see him all the way at the back right there. So everyone, let's welcome our very smart from Africa. Sorry, we have one more coming up right up there. So everyone, we are lovely ladies, the American stars. If you take a very close look at them, they have a dagger-like beak and a stern open face.
Although these birds are not vultures, they are scavengers and will join them in the big feast. And did you know, in Africa, up to 11 species of vultures help to clean up to 70% of the continent's carrion. And we will all be in a lot of trouble without these birds. Isn't that right, Nina?
That's very true, Deborah. Because around the world, we are losing these amazing birds for many reasons. Reasons like deforestation, electrocution, poison carcasses, and even superstitious beliefs. Now, the only way to save these birds from going extinct is through conservation efforts. So everyone, let's take a moment to show our appreciation to these wonderful birds for keeping our environment safe and clean. Let's give them a big round of applause.
So today you have met raptors and scavengers, these kings of the skies, and the walkers of our earth. They are parts of our ecosystem, a part of our planet. And if we were to lose them, we will be losing a part of our planet.
And with that said, let us all